Who's calling that shit? Who's calling that? Who's calling that shit? OVO Sound 2025. Is it? Was it? Where's the function? Drake's shit apparently. You're leaving me. Man says sorry, but you don't want to pick it up.
I got stuff in my hand. That's why.
What?
Huh?
What?
I'm a cold, free. Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Just a couple things.
Just a couple things.
You got Vaseline?
What for your lips?
Yeah, man.
What are you telling me?
Is it recording?
Yeah.
What am I telling you? I'm good, bro. What are you saying?
Nothing much, man. Finished episode 5, by the way. It's on the Google Drive when you're ready.
I'll check that.
It's there.
I might watch that on my drive back.
Went to the doctors today. They said, yeah. Finally saw an actual doctor, not a physio, and he goes, "Oh, I think it's actually your back, not your shoulder."
Okay.
He said, "I think it's your trapezius."
Your traps. Okay.
He said, "I think something's there at the back, pinching it. That's what's causing you pain." Weirdly, while I was there, he said, "Have you had tested for your vitamin D or had a blood test?" And I was like, "No, I've never had a blood test." He said, "Okay, get one booked in."
Yeah.
So I went and done that today.
Yeah. What are they testing for?
I didn't know until I asked her. I was like, he just told me to get booked in because maybe vitamin D and stuff like that. And she said, "Oh, we're testing for da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da," and just licked off every body part off the list, bro.
Yeah.
Kidneys, bone stuff, this and that, blood count, da-da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, okay, cool, okay.
That's good though. Were you nervous about the results that you might get back, or
Yeah.
what are you nervous about?
I don't know.
Are you nervous?
I don't know. I don't even know.
When's the last time you did a blood test?
Never. This is the thing. I've never done one.
Okay.
So I'm like, I've done a blood test. Like when I lived abroad, I had to get a blood test for my visa. So I've done blood tests, but I've never gone to the doctors and said, just check everything's how it should be.
So when you done a blood test to get your visa, what did they check for? Do you remember?
As far as they just check. As far as I know, HIV.
Okay.
But yeah, obviously they probably check up as tuberculosis.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I'm nervous. I was thinking today, why am I nervous? When I was even doing it, she was like, "Are you nervous?" I was like, "I'm not nervous about the needle." I said, "I'm just nervous about." She was like, "The results." I said, "Yeah, but I don't know why." I said, "I don't know why, but it's just the fact that if I don't do this test, what can happen?"
Yeah.
Do you get me? My life will go on, and one day I might drop dead like that and never know why.
Yeah.
But if I do this blood test, it's like, why am I looking for trouble, bro?
You're not looking for trouble though. I'm
checking if everything's okay.
Yeah,
right
that's
now,
it.
I'm breathing and I'm living.
Would you?
Everything's okay.
Yeah.
So if they come back and say
everything's okay on the outside, not to say anything's wrong on the inside, but would you rather not know if the blood test may not even say, "Oh, this is something's wrong." It might just say, "Oh, you might be slightly deficient in here or there." So at least you're from that understanding, you don't know. Okay, cool. How do you proceed in terms of raise that deficiency level to?
Honestly, I don't know what it is. It's something, and I was even when I was walking back from the doctors today, I was thinking I'm going to talk to Nana about this today because why am I nervous?
Bro, it's natural to be nervous, bro.
But why am I nervous about blood test?
Because the unknown.
But it's like I've put this off for so long.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I've just never done a blood test.
Yeah.
But why have I just never done one ever? Never gone to get a checkup. Now, I even spoke to Pex and he was like, "Yeah, I do one every year." You said you've done one.
Yeah.
And then when I talk to people, I'm like, "Shit, has everyone been doing one?" Am I the only one that's not been getting checked at the doctors?
I mean, think about it. Like, what do you have in this world that?
I do an STD check here and there.
Yeah, but that's not a blood test.
Piss in a cup.
Well, it can be. Yeah.
Piss in a cup. Send it off.
Yeah.
But
that's good. I mean, that's good as well that you're doing that. But
here and there.
You're doing that more than maybe the average person.
Yeah.
But yeah, think about it. Like, what do you have in this world really that, if you didn't have, it would make your life shit. It's your health. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that your health is straight.
Yeah, but it's straight.
Yeah.
My heart rate on my watch is
it's straight. I'm not saying it's not straight.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's not straight, but you kind of just want to see results.
It's looking for trouble.
It's not looking for
Now,
trouble.
if they tell me you've had this disease your whole life, I don't know how you've been living with it, but you've got this disease. I bet you the next day that disease starts killing me.
No, it doesn't.
That disease starts making me. I've lived my whole life with it. Fine.
It's a checkup. You want to make sure that you're straight. You want to make sure that you have an understanding of what's going on the inside. You want to, at least from having that understanding, you know what you can do about it if you need to do anything about it. So
yeah, we actually spoke about this a few episodes ago, I think, when we spoke about the prostate exam.
Yeah.
But it was funny because you were talking about a blood test and I took the piss out of you again.
Yeah. I didn't see it coming when you were.
To go get a blood test today.
Yeah.
She said which arm. When she said which arm, I was like, just do it in my fucked up arm already. Because then I don't want to have two fucked up arms.
Yeah.
Worst mistake, bro. I had a dead arm on top of a dead arm on a dead arm. So I was just like this all day after that. I was just like this.
So when did you get the results back? Do you know?
She said, well, you'll get them online or a text. And then if we need to talk to you, we'll call you.
Yeah.
I said, please don't call me then.
Better hope they don't call.
Well, if I see that number pop up now, I'll sweat straight away, bro. The doctor prescribed me some mad painkillers, but I haven't actually picked them up yet. I don't know if I want to.
Why not?
Don't drive while you're on them, and I want to learn to drive.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two. Number one.
Well, just take them before you go to bed, then, innit?
You get me? But then I think it's like a 3 times a day one. It's
is it?
one of them was naproxen or something. Fuck knows. Then tramadol.
Yeah.
Diazepam was in there.
Is that a good shit? I don't know.
It's I think diazepam. My head was like ding ding.
Yeah.
Bells were going off like that. Something. That's the soccer.
Like you can only it's the type of shit you can only get with prescription. You can't get
the soccer,
off the counter.
The soccer mom in me was going, ooh,
yeah,
diazepam and a glass of wine. But no, I just haven't picked it up, and I don't know if I want to take them.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna try and firm it with my ibuprofen and my stretching.
Yeah.
If it gets really really peak, it's bad, but if it gets really really bad,
yeah,
then I'll just maybe take some, like you said, before bedtime. But no, I'm not gonna take sleeping tablets and a glass of wine. That's not really my style.
Yeah.
yeah. That's the problem. Number two, I don't want that to become.
You don't want to get
up. Yeah. Fucking hell. No thanks. Imagine I can't sleep without them or something.
Yeah, no, you don't want to
Just
start.
Don't want to go there.
You don't want to go down that road, nah.
No.
I mean, at least you got a bit of a plan you can work with now. At least you kind of have more of an understanding of what specifically more targeted in terms of like what's the issue. Yeah. So you can work from there. I think that's all you really need to start from, innit? That's it.
Trying to just tighten up keep the diet tight as well, because I just don't want to get fat again, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's been okay. I've been cooking. I've just been making that thing. I just need to cook every day. While I'm here, at home, not at work, there's no excuses, bro. I've got all the fucking time in the world.
Yeah.
To do what I need to do. Because what else am I doing?
Yeah. Well, you got. You want to talk about it, like in terms of like your next few months, or?
Well, yeah, I'm off sick with this injury, innit? So
yeah.
I'm just gonna try and utilize the time as much as I can to get other things done, like the pod and my body and my.
Just need to sort your life out, mate. That's it.
And my driving if I can, but my life isn't that bad.
No, you know what I mean.
If I use this recovery time and I'm just not sitting around moping, fucking crying about my shoulder, and I'm just doing as much as I can. The driving might be a bit of a stretch, obviously, because my fucking arm.
Yeah.
But I can edit on the laptop. I can do stuff that I want to do, other projects that I want to do, like the podcast, and
yeah.
I can go to the gym and I can eat right and just look after myself a little bit. So I'm gonna do that.
I always say, I've told you before, obviously when I was unemployed, and I had like 3-4 months of not working, and my sole like goal was to get a job. That was probably like the 3-4 months I was most locked in terms of just like everything else in my life. You know what I'm saying? I stopped doing all this stupid shit. Kept myself organized. Had a routine I was doing day to day, like religiously, and obviously I managed to hit my goal. So I feel like you actually have time just to work on yourself, just to like do all the things that you actually want to do and you have the time to do as well. Yeah, just to improve. I feel like for like COVID times, it's a bit reminiscent of COVID times. Although obviously we're not locked in, right? But COVID, obviously a lot of people lost their jobs and stuff, and it kind of went two ways. I think like there's people during COVID time that used that as an opportunity to kind of rebuild themselves, and there's other people that just let themselves go from it. So it can either go one of those two ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it feels like I'm jobless. Like you said, like it feels very comparable to being unemployed, but I know I'm not. So in my head, I don't want to act jobless.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to act like I'm still acting with purpose. Sometimes,
Yeah. But for me, jobless made me hungry.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
But eventually, for me,
yeah,
after getting jobless, I'd first be like,
yeah.
Give me a month for just chilling off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't want to do that.
And I did that as well. I didn't do like I said.
That's
I had.
what I mean. I
had 2-3 months.
Yeah.
Where the first month was, down in the dumps. Like, oh shit, this is long, and not really. But then when you start to really
pick your life up,
yeah,
and
kind of set your sights on what you're actually trying to do,
yeah,
and then that's when you just start to like look in.
I guess that's how I'm seeing it, because I've been sidelined in essence with this fucking shit, and I didn't get the job that I applied for the promotion, so now I'm just gonna use this recovery time to like level up on the other stuff.
Yeah,
and I think the main priority is the pod. By the time I go back to work, it will be in full swing, because this doesn't affect this.
Yeah.
So I can't let it, and I just want to focus. It's my opportunity to focus more time on that. My excuse for this was always working.
Yeah.
It's not there now.
Yeah.
At the moment, so yeah, this should be in full swing by the time we're back.
Yeah.
What about you? How was work?
Yeah, work is all right. Work is all right. I think like the last month or so, maybe like 2-3 weeks, I think I've starting to zone in on like being more specific in terms of where I'm trying to grow my career path. So obviously I got into this role as a data business analyst, and I've been in this role for like a year and a bit. And this role was like my first role back into like being employed for an organization after trying out the PT thing. And I got into this role because it was similar to what I was doing before. And I just needed an opportunity to get my foot back in the door in a way. But I didn't necessarily have like a target in terms of this is where I'm trying to end up in the next, let's say 3 to 4 years from that career perspective. But I feel like the last month or so, I've started to think, okay, cool, where am I really trying to take this direction? And almost trying to reverse engineer kind of the steps that I need to take in order to get there. So ultimately, like essentially, like the next 3 to 4 years, I'm trying to get into like a data architecture role.
What the fuck is that?
So data architecture basically supports like organizations or companies in building the systems and software and technology that will be able to collect the data, process it, store it, and report back the insights of that data to the organization. So
no, slow down, rewind, Go back to data.
What do you mean go back to
Go
data?
back to the data
I said data. I'm at the data part.
You lost me, bro.
I'm at the data part. You said what is a data architecture?
Data architecture.
Yeah.
You want to help to build the systems that store?
Yeah, like collect, store.
What do you mean collect and store? So when you're collecting and storing data, where are you collecting and storing this data? Online, in person, on a...
Yeah, so whether it's on the cloud, whether it's...
But then if it's stored on the cloud, the data is stored in the cloud.
Yeah.
What's your job? You don't fucking hold it in the cloud, take it to the cloud.
No, you're designing the systems, the architecture.
Like the organization of it.
Yeah.
Of the data.
So if you just think about an architecture, right, it's, he's designing the building. Exactly. So in this instance, like the building, like the different rooms in the building or the different foundations are different like systems and frameworks and elements.
No, you still lost me. You're losing me on that bit. I'm just confused as to how that data needing storage turns into you building a system for it to be stored, wouldn't you just put it in a fucking file in a folder, and then you'd be like, okay, I got that folder there, that folder there, that folder there, that folder there.
Yeah, so
Is that
even
essentially what you're doing, but for data.
yeah, so even in
Bro,
those
take my
terms,
laptop. It's so organized. You can have it, bro.
yeah, but this is not enough to hold the amount of data that like people want to, like organizations want to store. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Or want to collect and process.
I got a hard drive.
It's still not enough. The data architect role, the reason why I'm like, for me, I see that as something that I align with is because I find it not similar to the role I'm doing now, but I find a lot of the stuff I'm doing now transferable into that role.
Is it very different from what you're doing now?
It will require a lot more kind of deep understanding of the technology, like the underlying technology behind.
Does it require you going deeper into the world of data?
Yeah, 100%. I would have to like fully immerse myself into that world, really,
Okay,
to be honest.
Which leads me to my next question.
Yeah, go on.
What about the coaching? Because the deeper you go into the world of data, surely the further away you come from your goal of coaching, which is, if that's what it is, it's fine. But this should have gone to therapy. So I want you to, we should talk about if we are changing, if we do have changed feelings of what our goals are or whatever, we should unpack that. Because, obviously the sports and athletics is a big part of your life. We'll get to that, but is the data architect plan like a 5-year plan, 3-year plan?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a 3 to 5 year plan, and it doesn't mean that the coaching goes.
No, we'll get to that. Sorry, I prematurely bet that.
Well, you asked me the question. What does that mean? So I was gonna.
I don't know. Were you done talking about data?
About the coaching thing? Yeah, man. I don't think. For me, that's always gonna be part of my life. And look, people have multiple different interests. You know what I'm saying? Data just happens to be one of my interests now, and
can I just say
one that I care about?
For 1 second, you've always cared about data.
I've always cared about it. Yes,
it's not something that surprises me that you like data at all.
Why?
Just that's all I've got to say about it.
Why?
Just it suits who you are so much.
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. Yeah.
Camera is too hot. Let me just check that. Yeah, it's not an insult. If I say any more into it, it might sound like an insult.
Go on, say it with your chest, bro.
No, you just seem... I know you, innit?
Yeah.
I know how organised and meticulous you are. So it doesn't surprise me. Why are you looking at me like that?
No, I'm just organised, meticulous. Okay.
Are you not?
You say I am, so all right.
You're not organised. Okay, well,
everyone has their days. That's what I'm saying.
But then also, the coaching thing also, I see it as well so much.
Yeah.
That's why I was just asking: is it still a thing, or do you just want to use the fitness for your own? To keep yourself fit, yourself and your family fit and healthy, and then obviously create your content along the way. Or are you still trying to become a coach, like an online coach from that?
I think what you said first.
Oh, you don't know?
No, I think what you said first at the moment, because I think at the moment I want to keep it fun and interesting for me, because, and I want to do it just out of the genuine love and passion for fitness, which for me, it takes form in just putting out content about my journey and kind of sharing that content on what I'm interested in around fitness. And I think in the long term, how that pans out will pan out. If it pans out in the form of getting back into coaching, then cool. If it just pans out in the form of, okay, cool, I've just got a fitness page where I'm just documenting my journey and then yeah, that's cool as well. But I think at the moment I'm just doing it out of the because it'll always be an interest of mine. I think it just has to be done out of from that place of just interest and passion for it, rather than that place of, oh, I'm doing it specifically to be to become a coach from it, which I'm not saying, because obviously that was what I was aiming to do in the past, but
things change though. So
yeah, things change.
Yeah,
things change, and like I said, I've got other interests as well, and there's other interests where I'm kind of looking at more specifically as career progression, which is around kind of the day-to-day employment life, and there's other interests where I'm looking more as like personal projects, which is just the documentation of the fitness journey and sharing that. So if these two folders align in some way, then they align. You get me?
That's our second one now.
So for me right now, in terms of the fitness stuff, it's just getting content out. I feel like getting content out and sort of building like my fitness brand in a way.
Like your personal brand.
Yeah,
to include like fitness stuff.
To include fitness. So because we're all human beings with different passions and different interests.
Well, I liked something you said just then about just doing your thing and documenting it. And if all you have is a fitness page, then so be it. And if you become a coach, then so be it. Because I'm a big fan of so be it.
Yeah.
Honestly, genuine. Yeah. Like when you said you were talking to Nigel earlier he asked about the podcast. I almost still don't know how to answer that question if someone was to ask me it.
Yeah.
Because so be it.
Yeah.
If we release 250 million episodes and we get 2 subscribers.
Yeah.
So be it.
That's where I'm at with it right now as well, man.
Because as long as it done what I've enjoyed doing it. I've enjoyed talking to you.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed learning how to edit and make and produce a podcast.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed learning about everything that comes with it, with the filming and whatever. So if that's all I get from it is them skills,
so be it.
So fucking be it.
So be it.
So be it. So I'm a big fan of so be it. And you're never going to do yourself wrong by fitness and staying in the gym and being active.
Yeah.
So the worst that can happen is what? You're fit and healthy.
Yeah.
So be it.
Yeah. But I agree, because I think honestly that's like over like the last few months that we've been recording this podcast. That's I think where my mindset's come to with it. You know, so be it. Just do what you enjoy doing. Put it out, and whatever comes out of it. So be it. Like I think I'm all for just having specific goals and targets, and I think there's certain things that obviously with like the career path specifically around the data world, I've got more specific goals and targets around that because I think, you know, there is like almost a clear progression in terms of corporate, like climbing up that ladder in that career path. But for things that are like just more linked to sort of more your personal interest, I think you just got to do what you can do around it, and whatever happens, so be it. That's it.
Honestly, mate.
That's it.
So funny. I had one of these moments the other day. I was on the treadmill and I was walking and I looked out the window across to the other building. There was just someone having a one-to-one like meeting at work. I was thinking, they have no idea I'm just bopping away on this treadmill. They don't give a shit. Yeah. And I don't know what the fuck is going on in that meeting. And then they're both going to go out that meeting and talk to different people about that meeting. And then their lives just go on.
Yeah.
No one gives a fuck and everything just keeps on going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Then I got off the treadmill. It was just one of those moments where I was like, that means that somewhere in the world right now, then my brain started getting dark. I was like, that means somewhere in the world right now, someone's getting killed. Somewhere in the world right now, someone's dying. And somewhere in the world right now, someone's being born. So that's still pretty dark.
Wow. All that from a treadmill. Wow.
Geez. All that from walking on the treadmill. And seeing that my headphones are broke. I've lost my headphones. I lost my headphones in it. So that's what happened.
Yeah.
But it just got, it was one of those moments. I was thinking so much is happening. So whatever happens, we just got to keep on pushing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
That was it. my main takeaway from that was actually, because we've said something before about if one thing goes wrong, it shouldn't put off everything else.
Yeah,
It was just about saying one thing is happening, but so much other stuff is happening.
Stuff is happening,
So if one thing happens, all this other stuff can still happen.
Yeah.
You just don't know what's going on right now.
Nah.
Anywhere. There's so much happening.
Yeah.
So one thing is not the be all and end all.
Nah.
It's just so be it vibes.
Nah, you're right.
That's the name of this episode.
You're right. Let's talk about the interviewing process, innit? Let's talk about kind of the preparation that went into that, the actual interviews, and the mindset and everything behind all of that stuff.
Yeah, well, hand on heart, I don't think I prepped anywhere near as well as I could have.
Yeah.
I started prepping, honestly, for the assessment day, the day before.
Mm-hmm.
Poor from me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Very poor. But we played the hand we dealt. We played the hand we dealt. I don't know why it was. I'm just one of these guys that can't do it unless there's a fire under my ass. But I should have, because I didn't get the job. So.
do you think? Okay.
Yeah,
do you think if you had prepped more,
who knows?
That would have changed the outcome?
Who knows?
No. Who knows? Okay.
Yeah, it would have.
But
would it have changed the outcome? Yes. Would I have got the job? I don't know. I would have scored better in everything that I needed to do.
Did they give you feedback?
Not yet.
Okay.
But I know, because there was, for example, there was a question. I can talk about the questions now, surely, right? The process is over.
Yeah.
So there was a question. I had examples ready. So give us an example of when you've demonstrated leadership. Give an example of when you've demonstrated this. Or not even demonstrated, or name a time you've led. It's just, I had them strengths in my answers.
Yeah.
But the interview the one-to-one part of the interview flustered me hard.
Yeah.
Because the first question was, you've got a crew member that you've given feedback to, who's come to you and says they feel like you're picking on them.
Mm-hmm.
How do you handle the situation?
You've got a crew member that you've given feedback to.
I've given feedback to, and then they've come to me and said, I feel like you're bullying me or picking on me.
Yeah.
What do you do? I answered it touching on points that I should have been, that I should have spoken about.
Yeah.
I answered it way better when I got home and done it in the shower.
That's always the case, isn't it? That's always the fucking case.
That was just one of the interview answers. Can't really remember the other two. See, we had to go through them anyway.
But that's still, so the questions that you prep for the skills.
I had the answers. I kind of had the answers there, because my leadership answer spoke all about how I've, and that again,
because that's a skill of like, they're trying to evaluate how do you take constructive feedback.
And should I have used an example?
Yeah.
Of when somebody's come to me and my team, and because I went straight to, I don't know why I think I almost fumbled it, because I went straight to, you're on the plane, how do you deal with the situation? And I should have started it with, okay, we're on the plane and someone's come to me, but I should have just, someone's come to me with something that they feel like I'm doing something wrong.
So think back to obviously what you did for your first stage video interview.
Yeah.
So I guess, okay, so they'll ask you questions about specific skills.
It was the same.
But what you gave examples,
Yeah.
right? You gave examples in the past of how you demonstrated those skills.
Yeah.
So I guess I feel like you could have still, potentially you could have still done that. You could have answered that question, but then obviously given the example.
Given an example.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't give examples.
In that way.
So, yeah, this is how I deal with it, because I'd want to create a nice environment where people feel like they can raise their concerns. This happened to me.
Yeah.
This is how I done it. This is how we followed up. This is how we resolved it.
Yeah.
And they were happy with the outcome.
Yeah.
And I try and do that same thing when seeing if we've resolved it on board. Although it's difficult because we have less time together.
Yeah.
So we might never see each other again. I try and resolve it all in that flight. But all in all, yeah, that's how I do it. Why didn't I say that? Why didn't I do that? But yeah, man, it is down to the prep, I think. Or it's always down to the prep.
Yeah.
It's always that. If you go to a job interview and you don't get the job, it's your fault.
No, I wouldn't say that. Nah, I wouldn't say that, because I mean, I think at least from my experience, there's certain jobs that you go for. You go through interviews, you feel like you're the perfect candidate, but it really comes down to, at least for the type of, like, it comes down to, can this hiring manager see you working with him?
But okay,
you might have all the skills.
Different in your
you know what I mean?
in your thing then. But
yeah,
mine, these aren't there.
Yeah.
So it's just, can they do the job? And the only reason it would be they can't do the job is if I've not provided enough evidence that I can do the job.
That you can do the job, yeah.
So, okay, in an office space or working on a team, when you're hiring a team member, absolutely, I agree. Personality comes into it. Can I see myself working with them? I was just thinking more in my aspect. For me, then the only reason I didn't get that is my own fault. Because I've got that far because they've thought, oh, okay, maybe potential here. Maybe he can do the job. Let's see if he can demonstrate to us that he can at the assessment day. And the only reason I wouldn't have got the job is because I didn't do that.
But
I didn't do that because I didn't prep properly.
Yeah, but again, also you've not received that kind of specific feedback here. So
No, but
for all you know, it might not even be because of your answers to that part of the assessment.
That was just one part I thought went wrong. That was one part I thought went wrong. Yeah. The rest was shit too.
Nah, come on, man.
I swear.
Come on, man. Nah.
Like I spoke when I spoke. We're doing a briefing thing as well. Like before the flight, you give a briefing in it. It's got to be very brief, but they give you a scenario that you throw in. I think I done that well.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
No, I just feel like you're about to say something funny.
I'm not gonna say something. Well, have I told you the story already?
No, you haven't.
I felt like I done it well. But I just feel like there's people there that done it better.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
I delivered mine how I would deliver it in real life.
Yeah.
IRL.
Yeah.
But I shouldn't have. I should have delivered it like I'm auditioning for the job. Like I'm interviewing for the job. I delivered it in a demeanor that's calm and quite chill. I trust everyone to do what they're going to do and we'll get it done and da-da-da-da. Really, I should have been...
yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
Bit more upbeat.
Yeah.
I think that would have... I would have just said more, maybe motivated a bit more. I still...
Tone up that energy a little bit more.
Yeah, but it's not me. I can't.
I know, but just... I think in those scenarios...
You have to.
Yeah,
you do.
You have to. And that's not necessarily not being yourself. It's just me. You're just dialing it up a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I feel like the difference with my situation and your situation is, of course, it depends on getting the interview invitations from whoever you're applying for. But for me, I can quickly learn from those mistakes.
Yeah.
And
what, for the interviews and apply it straight to
apply it to the next one.
Yeah.
And I don't have to typically don't have to wait that long.
A year or so.
Exactly.
To try again. Yeah.
To try again. So it's more fresh.
But no, like I said, it's like I said to you though, because it was nice to even just do the interview process.
Yeah.
Because I don't get the opportunity. Because I don't apply for jobs.
Yeah.
Anywhere else yet. So it's nice to have the experience of an interview.
Yeah.
And just get into that space.
Yeah.
It was good. It was a good experience either way. I liked it. We go again.
Yeah, man. There's been so many interviews that I've fucked up, man. Like,
See,
it's actually
not me.
Not you.
That's why it didn't hurt.
Yeah.
But I was almost surprised when I saw.
I mean, every rejection hurts. Even when I see the rejection, like the ultimate emails to say, "Oh, I'm not even,"
Does it get?
Even when I see those, I know it's like at that point there isn't necessarily that much emotional investment. But even when you just get the ultimate emails to say, "Oh, unfortunately, yeah, you've not been on this occasion due to high applicants," blah blah blah. It's just a little bit, you know what I mean? Just a little shot.
I don't know if hurt is the right word. Maybe I'm just dead inside. But I was a bit more. Right, I didn't get it. A rejection email for me?
Yeah.
No way. Yeah. I've not had one in a while, so I was humbling.
Yeah.
I'll take it. That's for sure. I ain't got a fucking choice. How about I taking it now?
Yeah. You just gotta accept those rejections and
we
move on, man. That's
so
it.
Be it.
It's not the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Is it the end?
How long have we been going for?
Quite a while, mate.
Is it?
To be honest.
What time is it?
It is 10 past 8, and we've been recording for 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, damn.
Thanks for watching another episode. If you watched it, if you loved Data, I'm sure you loved that. If you didn't love Data, welcome back from your nap. I hope you had a great nap. Hope you enjoyed it. Got a lovely sleep. Yeah, tune in next time where we'll be talking about something that. Wait. Yeah, tune in next time where we'll be talking about.
Talking about what?
I'm trying to think of something funny to say. Tune in next time and we're talking about.
Tune in next time when he finally thinks of a funny joke. Shout out all my data enthusiasts out there. I know you enjoyed this one.
Bye.
Bye.